Welcome to the Grlz Collective, where community isn't just a word, it's a practice. Here we gather to read, to listen, and to tell the stories that shape our culture. From book club conversations that challenge how we think and feel, to interviews that spotlight voices, building, healing, and leading in real time. This is a space for honest dialogue, shared wisdom, and collective growth. We believe in culture with context, conversations with purpose, and community that shows up. These are our stories, these are our conversation, and this is the Grlz Collective.
Hey family, welcome back to the Grlz Collective podcast, where we turn conversations into connections and connections into culture. From book club discussions to interviews to street conversation, we're always creating space for her voice and her story. And this month, we're asking reset, realign, and what's next? 3 simple questions. What needs to change? What needs to stay? And where do you go from here? Today's guest is helping women step into new spaces, building meaningful connections and creating opportunities through community and golf. So let's get into it. Today, we're sitting down with entrepreneur and community builder Keivon Harley, founder and CEO of Posh Putters, a golf social club created to redefine the golf experience for Black professional women through golf clinics, networking opportunities, and social events. Posh Putters helps women build the gap between their personal and professional lives while building meaningful connections along the way. So, family, help me welcome Keivon Harley.
Hi,
Hey, how you doing today?
I am wonderful. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so excited to learn more about you and your business. So, for those who may not be familiar with Posh Putters, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and how long you have been operating.
So, hey, y'all, my name is Keivon Hardy. I am original Chicagoan, now living in the Carolinas. Posh Putters is, like she explained, it's a golf social club for Black professional women. We've been around since March of 2025. And yeah, we are here. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I love everything about business, and Posh Putters was a love child of that, if you will.
I love that. Now, before we dive into this conversation, let's warm things up brown girl styles. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. I'm going to give you a situation. You
Okay.
tell me whether it sounds like reset, a realignment, or figuring out what's next and why. But
Okay.
you only got 60 seconds. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's go. Leaving a job that no longer fulfills you
Reset.
and why?
Because you're figuring out who you are all over again and moving into the next chapter of your life, and that's a reset. You're starting over.
Learning a completely new skill as an adult.
Figuring out what's next, because now you're going into something new, but it's not the same thing.
Okay. In a relationship that no longer aligns with your goals.
Realignment, figure out where you stand and which direction you want to go in.
Walking into a networking event alone.
Figuring out what's next, because you're there by yourself and you have to figure out, okay, who am I going to talk to? How am I going to network? How am I going to introduce myself and figure out why I belong in this space?
Starting over after a setback.
Oh, reset.
Okay, and why?
Because you're not completely giving up. You're just restarting. It's like, okay, I still want to do this, but something came up. Let me restart.
Okay, and which one of these situations do you think people struggle with the most? And what's usually holding them back?
I think that people struggle the most with figuring out what's next. I think restarting is more comfortable because it's something you've already done. So it's like, okay, if I have to restart, it's okay. I'm restarting from a place of experience, not total lack of knowledge. But when you're figuring out what's next or what direction to go into, that is very scary. A lot of people don't like the unfamiliar. And so they'll stay in chaos, confusion, or familiar spaces, even if they're not safe.
I agree. And that's the conversation we're having this month. So before we take this conversation to the community, when you hear reset, realign, what's next, which one do you think people are struggling with the most right now?
I would say what's next, because of the world that we live in, the economy, the political climate, all of those things. It's a scary time for a lot of people, but also an opportunistic time for a lot of people, and it's unfamiliar. And like I said, a lot of people are afraid of the unfamiliar, and so it's kind of like, why can't things just stay the same? But change is needed to evolve as people, to evolve as a human race, to evolve as in community, and in any aspect. You need to, dive into something that you've never done before, or challenge yourself by trying something that you've never done before, whether that be a new food, a new hobby, driving a new car, like living in a new city, like do something new. And that's scary for a lot of people.
Now we want to hear from you. When you hear reset, realign, what's next? Which one are you currently navigating in your own life? Are you in a season of resetting, realigning, or figuring out what's next? Drop that in the comments.
Hey, this is Desiree with the Grlz Collective here at the Columbia Black Expo. And as we move into a new season, we are asking reset, realign, what's next? All right, so can you tell me your name and what brought you to the Black Expo?
My name is Brwn, and what was Black Expo? I'm one of the content creators. Mm-hmm. So every year I kind of come out and just kind of build up the morale of experiencing Black.
My name is Cecil Williams, and in 2019, my wife, my sister, and I founded the South Carolina Civil Rights Museum. There was not in the state where the civil rights movement begun a museum of the type we made. So it was destined to happen.
Hi, my name is Edith Anna White. I brought myself to the expo. This is a beautiful place to be able to see all these melanin people supporting their businesses, promoting it, and being able just to be out there and in the community and just see each other just thriving. And it just brings me so much happiness, as well as, for the next year, I might possibly want to do my own booth.
Before you go, we do have to have a little fun, all right? So I like to play games, and the game that we are going to play today is called Pick a Category, okay? So out of the categories, we have business, community, protect and provide, reset or evolve, and what's next?
What's next?
Ooh, thank you. What's something you're becoming more intentional about?
Artificial intelligence, AI. Not a day passed that I, in some kind of way, do not use AI. It helps me to save time. And for anyone who shies away thinking about the negative aspects, and it is a tool. And just like any tool, it can be used or misused.
Let's say, what's next?
What do you think your next season is requiring from you?
This is a great question. This next season in my life requires evolution. I definitely want to expand my role in the community, as well as promote my small business myself and be able to actually help the community by educating them as well.
What's next?
Okay. What's something you're becoming more intentional about?
Wow.
Well, we get deep here.
My time.
Your time.
My
Yes.
time. More, it's like not saying like as far as where I use my time at. Most of my time is saying if it's time for me to kind of just pull back on whether it's a situation or either things at work or either things that's not benefiting me, you have to take a moment back and just kind of understand you. And remember to kind of the reset. So that part I kind of like the most. Kind of learning my time is more valued.
And he said reset. Our theme for July is reset, realign, reset, align, and what's next.
That's tough. That's tough.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today and being part of the conversation here at the Columbia Black Expo.
Sure.
If you want, can you let the people know where they can find or support what you do?
My name is Edith Anna White. I'm the owner of ABC Bonding. You can follow me on Instagram at ABC Bond Boss, and as well as you can follow our Facebook page on Facebook, ABC Bonding Company.
You can catch me on any social media at thatguy_WY. That's thatguy_WY. And that's on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, the whole category, and also TikTok as well.
The South Carolina Civil Rights Museum.com.
This has been the Brown Girls Collective here at the Columbia Black Expo, highlighting businesses, conversations, perspectives, and the voices shaping our community. And if you'd like to support the work we're doing in the community through storytelling, conversations, and experiences like this, visit the link in our bio to donate, support, or stay connected with the Brown Girls Collective. And make sure you're following the Brown Girls Collective for more community, culture, and conversations. See you later. Thank you.
Some people are trying to reset. Some are trying to realign. And some are simply trying to figure out what's next. Because this is a community conversation. We want to hear what that sounds like out in the community. So we took it to the streets.
Hey, this is Desiree with the Brown Girls Collective here at the Columbia Black Expo, highlighting businesses, voices, and conversations happening in our community. And as we move into a new season, we're asking, reset, realign, what's next? And today we're talking to vendors, sponsors, organizers, and attendees, and Megan Good to hear their experiences, perspectives, and thoughts on business, community growth, and what's next. I like to play games, so the name of the game is pick a category.
Okay.
So the category options are business, community, protect and provide, reset or evolve, and what's next?
Reset or evolve.
What's something you had to unlearn recently?
I had to unlearn being afraid of not doing well at something. I'm a Leo, and traditionally my personality is one of like, I like to enter things that I know I have a good chance of winning, or at least of doing a good job. If I don't feel like I'm gonna do even a good job, then I don't like to play that game. And I realized at a certain point that that's held me back from some things, that it's not even about how well you do or if you win. It's about the fact that you tried and you're putting in effort, and that you're growing, and that you're showing yourself you're not afraid to fail, because when you fail upwards. You feel closer to winning your version of whatever that means.
Failure is necessary, because that's how you're going to learn through the next season of your life. I really want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us and being part of the conversation here at the Columbia Black Business Expo. If you want to let people know how they can find you and your brand, support you.
Yep, you can find me on Instagram, which is at Megan Good. You can find Jonathan and I on TikTok, and Megan and Jonathan. And you can find Honor Culture on Instagram, and it's Honor Culture, but instead of an O, it's a 0. So H0 and 0 are culture.
Okay.
But you can also find it on my page. It's tagged there.
So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that in there that way. Okay, so this has been the Brown Girls Collective here at the Columbia Black Expo, highlighting businesses, conversations, perspectives, and voices shaping our community. And if you'd like to support the work that we're doing in the community through storytelling, conversations, and experiences like this, visit the link in our bio to donate, support, or stay connected with Brown Girls Collective. And make sure you're following us if you're not, for more community culture and conversation. See you later.
What's something you had to unlearn recently?
Ooh. I had to learn, I would say learn and let go of the fear of asking for help or doing everything myself, and being very audacious in my ask. Like, I am someone who is used to doing things by myself, for myself, part of the generation that grew up with the independent women, right? And so you just used to, like, if it's going to get done, or if I'm going to get it done right, I'm going to have to do it myself. And so I realized, like, that's not true. Like, there are people out there willing to be a part of your community, to help you in anything that you do. And Keivon, you have to ask. And so I just started asking for the things that I wanted, and asking very audaciously, and believing that I could have them.
You're right. Unlearning something is not an easy task, especially when it becomes a habit. And it's something that you have, is a daily routine, it's repetitive. So like unlearning certain things in life and trying to elevate in life, it definitely takes requirement and discipline. So after hearing her response, what stood out the most to you?
well, both of us are Leo. And I definitely resonate with that. Like, if I'm gonna do something, I want to know that I'm gonna be good at it. I'm gonna do my research on it. I'm gonna practice it, and I'm gonna try to do my best all the time. And I think that golf is one of those things that when I started, baby, no, I was not, I'm still not like good at it. Like, I feel like with golf, you're a lifelong learner, but that is something that totally resonates. As she was saying that, I was like, well, I thought the same thing. And then I tried to hit that little ball in the hole and it did not work. So I am more in a space now, especially with having a business in the golf industry and starting my golf journey myself. Just doing things for fun without having to be great at them the first go round.
And we're definitely going to dive a little bit more deeper into your business and what you got going on. For me, I think that's something many of us can relate to, because sometimes what's holding us back isn't a lack of opportunity. It's the belief we carry into those other opportunities.
For sure.
So let me ask you, what's something you had to unlearn about success, networking, or even access to opportunities?
Oof.
A little tough one there.
Success, networking, or other opportunities. I think that growing up as a Black woman in a major city and just in America, you believe that the opportunities are not always there for you. And while it's true that you do have to work twice as hard as your other counterparts, I think that there's a lot more opportunities out there if you do what I just was talking about, which, like, just asking and being audacious in those asks, or seeking out the opportunities, because they're not always presented to you in a way that you're used to seeing, or presented in a way that you thought they are. And so I had to unlearn the habit of, like, you have to work hard for everything. Instead of, you work smart, you work smarter, you seek out opportunities, and you go after whatever it is that you want. You don't have to follow a specific plan, or you don't have to follow the plan that you think is the way it's going to go in your head, because there's a whole lot of ebbs and flows, ups and downs, twists and turns. Like, success is not linear at all. And, like, I think growing up, I thought, okay, so I'm going to go to college and I'm going to get my degrees, and then I'm going to work in a corner office, this job, and then I'm going to get married and buy a house and have kids. And it looks nothing like that. It has turned out to be so much better than what I thought life was going to look like. But you think that success is just this, linear thing, and it's not. It's not at all.
And what about networking? What did you have to unlearn about networking?
I don't think I had to really unlearn anything about networking. I think that I am a networker by nature. So when I'm in spaces where it's like, okay, it's not just about being at networking events. I network in any space that I'm in. So I don't really think that I had an idea of, like, oh, networking has this one way of looking. It's just, you talk I've always known that your network is your net worth. And so you talk to people, whether you are in a conference room, whether you're at a networking event after a conference, whether you're standing on a bus stop, in a restaurant, you talk to people and see how you can be mutually beneficial to one another.
Absolutely. I was always told, never not get to know someone, or at least 2 or 3 people in the room, because you just never know where that networking could take you. So I do agree with you on that. Do you think there are things women have been conditioned to believe about spaces like golf, professional network settings, and creating new business relationships that simply aren't true?
Absolutely.
And why?
Absolutely. 1000%. I think that a lot of women think that they don't belong in those spaces, because we live in a patriarchal society. It's like, okay, well, women for a long time were conditioned to be homemakers or work in nurturing roles like secretaries or teachers or things like that. And in the professional workspace, for a long time, women were accepted. However, we dominate. So yeah, my uncle, I had a friend of the family who was my uncle's friend, and he was COO of a Fortune 500 company. And while the men were like the forefront of the company, like the CEO, the executives and things like that, he told me that the company would have never stood a chance without the women in the background that ran the company, because they knew everything. They knew the numbers. They knew the people that worked at the other companies. They did the background checks, the research, all of that. And while the men were just kind of like the face of the company, while they did work and they did their jobs, the women really ran the companies. And I think that women think a lot of times that they belong behind the scenes, and then that the women that want to be the bosses or want to be at higher levels, there is shunned upon. Like, you can't have it all. Like, what about a husband and kids and things like that? And I believe that you can have it all. You don't have to just settle for one direction or one lane or one thing that defines you as a woman. Like, we belong in all the spaces that we want to be in. And if being a wife and a mother is your decision, then that's your decision. And that's the role that you want to play, do it. But if you want to be the CEO of your own company, or you want to be in a quote unquote male dominated field, then you can do that. But women have to believe in themselves and believe that we can do whatever it is that we want to do.
I definitely agree with you. How much of what Posh Putters does is helping women learn golf versus helping women unlearn the belief that they don't belong in those spaces?
All of what Posh Putters does is for that. So golf is a space that did not accept women for a very long time. It was, it's the boys club, and golf has traditionally been an exclusive space, even for the boys. So even like not all the men are accepted into that space. And because of the challenging game that golf is, it definitely humbles you, but a lot of people don't have the confidence to play because of the people that they've seen play or how difficult the sport may seem. And so I think that bringing women into the space and teaching them golf, we also teach like confidence boosting. Like, golf is 80% mental and 20% skill. So when you step out there, if you feel confident in who you are, if you feel confident in, I don't know how it's going to go, but it's going to go, I'm going to play to the best of my ability, and you feel confident in what you're wearing and knowing course etiquette and things like that, it makes the game 10 times better. And because women haven't been exposed to this until more recent years, that is what we do. We teach confidence. We teach course etiquette. We teach you how to dominate in this space, whether you're good or bad. Because the truth is, a lot of the men that are out there playing on the golf course for 4 hours, they're not even playing well. But you didn't hear that from me.
Okay, we're going to keep that between us. And I think that's very powerful, because often what's next isn't about becoming someone new. It's about giving yourself permission to enter spaces you convince yourself that wasn't meant for you. Sometimes opportunities was always there. The room was always there. The network was always there, but we never saw ourselves in it. And that's exactly why I want to talk about Posh Putters. So, what inspired you to create Posh Putters?
Access to those rooms, and also not being the only one out there by myself. So golf is a space that I have been around majority of my life. Like, my uncles have played golf my entire life. Watch golf, hear about him going to the golf course, traveling all over the world to play. And as a kid, I thought it was so boring, because you would see it on TV and it would be like, oh my God. And then the golf courses, now things are changing, but before, it's very quiet, minimal conversation. And even if it is conversation, it wasn't conversation that I was interested in as a kid or knew anything about. So I just thought it was so boring, but I was always around it. In 8th grade, I was a caddy at a country club for like 3 days, and I was like, I gotta get up out of here. I was 80 pounds soaking wet. The bags were heavy. I couldn't carry them. It was hot, and I was just like, oh no, like, I'm just a girl. Like, I'm not supposed to be sweating like this. I'm not supposed to do this much walking. Like, I don't want to do it. But it just kept coming up. And then When I entered corporate America, I was like, okay, I need my set of golf clubs because they say more business deals are closed on the golf course. I'm a 23-year-old Black girl in this other space. Like, I need to have a one up on my competitors. So I need to know something so that I can go out on the golf course and play. And yeah, my club sat on ice some more years. And then I entered the entrepreneurship world and I was like, okay, I'm going to get serious about learning how to play golf.
Okay.
And I didn't. And then a couple years ago, like 3 years ago, I called another one of my uncles and was like, hey, I'm serious about learning how to play golf. Like teach me. And we started playing together. And then I would go out and I would never see any women. And I would like, want to play with other women, but also like, I want to play with people that I could have candid conversation with. Like, hey girl, did you see that this brand had a new drop? And like, what color lip gloss should I wear? Or like, what kind of outfit are you wearing? Because, we're just girls. We just, we want to be cute and stuff like that. And I was playing with, no shade, with old men, like, because I was playing with them. Or like when I would go to the golf course, it would only be guys. And they love to give unsolicited advice about your swing and all the things. And I was like, I want some girls to play with. And so that's kind of how Posh Putters was born. I also, as I started to play, I also started getting lots of opportunities and seeing doors open simply by just talking about golf. And I was like, the girls have to come with me. Like, I can't be in this space by myself. So let me start a group where we can teach the ladies how to play golf, teach them how to network, help expose them to these different spaces. And voila, there's Posh Putters.
And it kind of follows up with my next kind of question for you. What really like inspired you to believe that was a space like for us women to be on the golf course? What inspired you?
I don't think there's too many spaces that if I want to be in, I don't believe that I can be in or have access to. It's just always figuring out how to get the means to that access or how to figure it out. And so because we are such a small percentage of the people out there, I was like, okay, this is an opportunity. One, because Black people hold less than 1% equity in the golf space, and Black women hold an even smaller percentage of that. And so there's so much opportunity. And so I was like, we can be here, we can go here. Who says we can't? Like, let's figure out how to get in there. And here we are.
So many people don't always see golf as a space for Black women. Why was it important for you to change that narrative?
Because I am Black before I'm anything else. And as a Black woman, like I said, I don't think there's a lot of space. If I want to be in them, there's not a lot of spaces that are off limits to me. If I believe that, I mean, people may say that, and statistically, it may seem that way, but I also believe that if I want to be in a space and I want to elevate my life, my network, my hobbies, the things around me, who's going to tell me no? There may be some people, but you only need one yes.
That's right. That's right. What happens when women come together in spaces like Posh Putters that might not happen elsewhere?
It's so powerful. Their energy shifts, the stars align. It becomes such a beautiful experience for anybody that decides to come to a Posh Putters event. Just being in this space and being in a space that you feel like you once were not even accepted into, not even just as a Black woman, but as a woman in general. It just feels good because it's a novel sport for most of the women that come to our clinics or come and play on course with us. There's very few women that have been playing a long time, although we do have some that have been playing as children, and they speak to their experience of being either the only Black girl or the only Black person in the space. And so having community and familiarity in a new space is just groundbreaking.
Wow, that is wonderful. And I love seeing when Black women could come together and just be powerful together, especially on the golf course. What are some of your transformations you witnessed from women who came in nervous or unsure of themselves?
Oh my goodness, girl. First of all, after sometimes after the first clinic or first like on-course thing, the girls are like, okay, so which golf clubs do I buy? These girls are purchasing clubs, they purchasing the accessories, they got all the gizmos and gadgets. Some of them have stuff that I don't even have. And I'm like, wait, where you get that from? I want one.
Love that.
Like,
They feel inspired.
They feel inspired and like excited to learn something new and, step up to a challenge. So that the ladies who have come to our clinics in certain chapters and they're like, I met one of my best friends here last year. Like, me and this girl met at the clinic and we go out all the time. We hang out. Like, she helped me through like the passing of my grandmother, like things like that. Like, I think that is amazing. Also, the ladies that meet there and still do stuff outside of it, like it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. They like, hey, I want to buy clubs. Hey, I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone and I'm being more social and going to more social events because of Posh Putters and the amazing women that I've met here. Like, it's amazing. I love to see it.
And that actually brings me to my next question. We hear people say networking is important, but what does meaningful relationships building actually look like?
Talking. Simply just talking. Like, network doesn't always have to be strategic. Even in some spaces it does, but it doesn't always have to be strategic. Sometimes you can just simply spark up a conversation and begin to talk about mutual interests or even opposite interests. Like, hey, I'm going to this restaurant to go try some, I don't know, oysters. And it's like, I've never had oysters before. Like, you want to join me? Or, hey, I'm looking for a new job, but I want to transition from pharmaceutical sales to tech. And it's like, oh, really? Like, I work in tech. And now it's like, oh, you have a connect here. And it's really just sparking up a conversation and not being afraid to be vulnerable. Like, one thing that I think that I am passionate about with Posh Putters is creating a safe space, not just for golf, but also just for women to build community and to network. And it doesn't just have to look like, okay, hey, my name is such and such, I do such and such, I work at such and such, I live in such and such. It can just be having candid, vulnerable conversations.
I love that. I love that. Can you think of a moment where one relationship, one conversation, or one room changed the trajectory of your life or business?
My life or business. Oh my goodness, there's so many. There's so many.
Just one.
There's so many. Gosh, now I'm trying to think. This is oh goodness. Probably starting Posh Putters.
Okay.
Probably because I don't think that I ever thought that Posh Putters would be doing the things that it's doing now. Like, it really just started as an idea at 11 o'clock at night and me calling a friend saying, hey, I want to get some girls together to play golf. Will you teach us? And it turning into 5 chapters later, 2 more chapters on the way, hundreds of women being taught golf, doing brand activations, things across the country. Like, I did not expect it to go this way. That one conversation has changed the trajectory of my life for sure. And it all started with me and the girls want to play golf. We need an instructor.
There you go. What would you say to the woman who feels intimidated walking into a room where she doesn't know anyone?
Believe in yourself. Have confidence. It doesn't matter who you know when you walk in that room. It matters who knows you when you leave.
That's right. I love that. I love that. Oh, for the woman watching this interview right now who feels stuck, who knows she wants more, but isn't sure where to begin, what would you tell her?
First, pray about it. Talk to God, talk to Creator, or whoever you believe in, whether that be a higher power or whatever. Go inside and figure out, or even if you don't figure it out, ask yourself, what do I want? Not even the next 5 years, but the next month of my life to look like. What do I want tomorrow to look like? Who do I want to be? Really visualize your higher self and like who you look like if you were your dream person. Like, who would I be? And then start stepping into that. There's a book called Atomic Habits that I absolutely love. And it talks about just 1% better every day and building on those habits. Like, you don't have to change your life overnight, right? Because for a lot of people, it looks like this just happened overnight, especially being in the entrepreneur space that I've been in for so long. People think like, oh, they're an overnight success, but it took 10 years to hit that overnight success, or the hours of work that they put in just to tip the scale. And so really it just starts with 1%, just doing 1% of something that you want to do every day. And you'll see an infinite amount of change over the course of your life. And just start. You literally just have to start, no matter what it looks like, because I guarantee you it'll look better than you thought.
Thank you. And that spoke volumes to me. I appreciate your encouragement. And what was the name of the book you said? I'm sorry.
Atomic Habits.
Okay. All right. I think one thing that keeps showing up throughout this conversation is the importance of being willing to show up before you're completely comfortable, whether that's learning something new, walking into a room by yourself, or saying yes to an opportunity you never experienced before. Sometimes the next chapters of our lives doesn't begin because everything is perfect. It begins because we decide to take a step anyways.
For sure.
Before we close, tell everyone where they can find Posh Putters, connect with you, and stay involved with what you're building.
You guys can find Posh Putters across all platforms at Posh Putters. We are on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Threads, everywhere. Make sure to subscribe to our email list on our website, www.poshputters.com, and just stay tapped in with us. We're always on socials. We do reply to emails. So yeah, check us out.
And they're very active. The content is very good. It encourages us Black women to get out there and get on the green, is what they say. And what's one thing you hope people leave this conversation remembering?
That there's a space for you and anywhere you want to be, and have confidence. That's it. All it takes is a drop of confidence.
You hear that? Drop of confidence. To everyone watching, thank you for being part of this conversation. If today's interview reminded you of anything, let it be this. Growth often starts with a decision to reset, a decision to realign, and a decision to take the next step towards what's next. A special thank you to Keivon Hardy and the Posh Putters for joining us today. Make sure you support the people, the platform, and the voices creating opportunities in our community. Make sure to follow Grlz Collective, subscribe to our YouTube, and stay locked in for more community, culture, and conversation. I'm your host, Sierra. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. Make sure to follow us on all social media platforms. And definitely visit browngrlzcollective.org or Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Can't wait to see you next time.